you want to start. You know that this is the middle of us talking shit. How much of us talking shit do you want before the intro begins?
It's not like you talking shit right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Always. No.
Yo, stop talking shit, bro.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't know. Do I get? I don't understand you.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Welcome to another episode of VGXL. I'm your host, Daniel, aka Games. Tonight we got Jose, aka El Torrente, and Dakota, aka Adocat. What's going on, guys?
What's good?
I took your advice. I just hit record and just.
That's what. That's
what up?
What we want, baby. The VGXL.
Give the people what they want, man.
Give the people what they want. You hear them chanting in the background. That's what they want. You gave them what they want,
man.
Exactly. Oh man.
Now you gotta pull back a little bit. You know, you can't give them all of that sugar.
Exactly.
Not too early. Drip by drip, little by little.
A little bit, like feeding a little bird. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever see the newborn baby bird get fed?
Oh yeah.
Are they just there? They just taking every little drop they could. That's how you got. That's how you gotta treat our huge, group of fans.
Yeah.
Slow drip.
Drip dry. Drip. No, what is it? Drip feed.
Drip feed. It's a drip dry.
Hit him with that drip feed, baby.
Hit him with the
drip feed energy. The shirt's coming soon.
Today this is episode 18. 18 episodes. I'm kind of happy. Last time we had our boy Mike on the podcast, and yeah, that was a fun time, reminiscing, talking shit.
18, baby.
Yep.
Our podcast is old enough to buy cigarettes, but not drink.
Oh man, not even in New York. You can't even buy cigarettes at 18 no more.
I was gonna say, not cigarettes.
Oh, that's true. It's 21 now, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at me living in 95.
Save the children, man. Save the children.
1995.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Better days.
Yeah, so this last week we kind of skipped over the format and didn't really go over news, but we're gonna go back and we're gonna cover some news today. Also,
let's do it.
Something that I realized, for people who listen, I know I got listeners. I know there's a few of you, there's like 3-4 of you out there. I'm giving away Stadia. I know you don't care about Stadia. I know it's trash. But come on. You know you want to take the damn thing off my hands, please.
You know I know it's trash. Yo,
look, brand new inbox. If you're looking at the YouTube, I have it right here on camera, brand new. This could be yours, just sitting collecting dust in your house.
Yo, all right, throw that shit in the garbage.
It's a collector's item, man. It's gonna be worth something.
Exactly. When nobody wants it, that means in 20 years someone's gonna pay a lot of money for that.
In like 30 years, when everybody's talking about the systems that meant absolutely nothing to anybody, that's gonna be worth something. Just like the Jaguar. The Jaguar was the biggest piece of shit to ever drop, and now people are like, "Oh man, dude, you have a Jaguar that's so sick."
Exactly.
Like, nobody gave a fuck about the Jaguar. Them shits were taking up an entire fucking wall at the Wiz back when I was a kid.
The Wiz.
Nobody wanted that shit, and now it's like, oh fuck, man, that dude, you know he fucks. He has a Jaguar.
Oh, this guy fucks.
This guy fucks, dude.
Look at this.
This guy fucks. I went to his house one time. Had a Jaguar, just casually connected.
The car? No.
No, dude. Fuck the car.
The fucking console.
Holy shit.
Not the car. Oh, that's amazing.
No.
If you want the beautiful ass Stadia comes with a Chromecast, you could use the Chromecast, stream shit to any TV that's not a smart TV.
Yo, just have it come with the TV. You know, complete the package.
Just send them a TV.
Yeah.
is going to supply you with a 75-inch OLED 4K TV.
With for anybody listening, all our listeners, listen. If you enter this competition right now, Daniel, aka Games, comes with every Stadia.
I was gonna show up in your crib, set it up for you, and just chill. We just kick it. We're just gonna kick it.
Set it up. He'll hang out. He'll tell you how lucky you are for being the chosen one.
Oh my
Who
god!
won the Stadia? That's
if you
amazing.
do want to
That's
try,
a cool
just
giveaway, though. Honestly,
I mean, it's free. It's
cool.
it comes in the box. Even if you get a free
How
month.
many of those do you have?
I have like 3 of them, honestly. 3 like unused ones, I think.
You have like three. All right, because
That's 3 giveaways, baby.
There's a contestant that won right here.
Oh, you?
He low-key wants it.
No. You got to interact with the Twitter. That's it. I said interact with the Twitter. You get entered. You didn't even follow the rules. Damn, bro.
You know what? I thought we'd been friends long enough to go past the Twitter, but you know what? You're right.
Middle school? Right. I don't know you, man.
Man, yeah, maybe we had a few classes together.
A few.
Shit, I never seen you in my life. Who the fuck are you on my podcast?
If you're interested, even a little bit, humor us. Just comments, tweet at us.
Wait a second.
Something.
Games, it was your birthday this past weekend.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday.
Happy birthday, Games! Right?
Thank you.
Right? Now, Games had a stream. You were watching Coming to America, right?
Yeah, we did a little community event on Saturday.
Okay, now I just need to. I mean, again, VGXL podcast. We talk about a lot of random shit. What was that movie actually like? Was it good? I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you didn't see it yet?
The second one?
I haven't seen it.
Coming to it. I mean, I've seen this sentiment a lot. It's like, honestly, I gotta say, for a sequel to a comedy that came out 35 years later, it was pretty good. It could have been way worse. It could have been way more derivative. And some of the story beats were, but it was funny. It had its moments. I thought it was worth it. I think it's worth the watch at the least. Are you gonna watch it all the time or even watch it again? Maybe not, but it was definitely a decent sequel to a 35-year-old movie. Comedy on top of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So
okay.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. We all had a good time watching it. It was a lot of laughs, and there was a couple of moments I was like, like the forced sing. There's a little duet in there, and that felt a little forced because that's the girl's what's her name? I forget her name, but she's like a singer chick or whatever. And
Tiana Taylor.
There we go. Tiana Taylor's in that.
From Harlem, baby.
Yeah, so they had to throw in a little where she sings.
Iman Shumpert's girl?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Iman Shumpert's girl.
But does she do the fade dance?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I'm an old man. But yeah, turn the big 3-7 on 3-7. And yeah, it was a fun time. That's literally all I wanted. So everybody who listens to the podcast who was at our little community event on the GXF Discord, I appreciate you for spending that night. We also watched The Last Dragon. Not that movie. But the old school 1985, I think that came out, 1986. Yeah, Harlem Kung Fu movie. Very fun watch. Exactly.
That's the greatest Harlem movie ever.
Yeah, that was a great. Especially if you grew up in New York, that is a fun movie to watch. It's so silly. It doesn't take itself serious at all, and I just all around enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
It's a classic, man.
You got that glow,
bro. Listen, you got that glow. The
He's got the glow.
Of elevation.
Yeah, sing it, boy, sing it. Oh man.
Awesome.
So we had a good time with it. We had a good time. Yeah, and then I went to my parents. We had a little dinner, and that was it.
Nice.
So like I said, we skipped the news last week, but this week we're gonna continue with the news of the week.
Oh, yeah,
back, baby, we back.
News.
Oh, you trying to one up me right now? You want to fight?
Yo. Yes. Oh, nah, son.
No, I'm flipping that. That's gonna be the first one. Do it one more time.
Oh, dude. Damn. That's the news. Oh no, not the laugh. Never to the show. All right, there we go.
I'll cut out the laugh.
I'll do the laugh again. No, I don't want to start Jose again because he'll fucking start. I'll lose my fucking mind.
Earlier was insane.
Yeah, I can't go down that hole right now.
He laughed with that shit on and forgot to take it off, and he went ha 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 ha.
I'm telling you, he's just gonna have a fucking album out just of that.
Just a laughing
at myself.
That shit was funny.
Oh man,
Nice.
I like that shirt, Games.
Oh yeah, Powerline, baby, best Disney movie ever, Goofy movie.
It's a Leaning Tower of Jesus.
I love that movie so much.
Classic.
So first, we're a big fan of that movie, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a funny story.
You sure were.
I like that movie because that girl in 7th grade, Christine, that I had the biggest crush on ever, used to sing like bits of that movie being silly, and so I was like, what? So I watched it, and it's literally about him having a crush on a girl in the movie. So I just fell in love with the movie, and then I learned the song so I could, if it ever came up, I could talk about it with her. Yeah, it was a corny 13-year-old.
Dedication.
You learned the song?
Yeah,
dedication.
Like the whole, especially the opening song, the After Today song. I learned. I still know that song to this day.
Don't listen to what people say. They don't know about
John
you.
Oh man,
you're my angel.
I used to love the John B album too.
Bro, John B.
Classic.
I don't know where that man is from. I always thought he was Puerto Rican. He's not Puerto Rican.
That's
He's
good.
like Jewish.
Oh really?
Is
I thought he was
He's
Puerto
like
Rican.
some crazy. Like I remember
That's weird
being
as hell,
shocked
yeah.
that he was not Latino, because he looked like every Puerto Rican in my building.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
John B. I thought he looked like every uncle of mine. He looked like a bunch of dudes that played handball across the street. He looked like he delivered my pizza a few times. Like John B. looked like
I
a
know this
straight
guy. I'm telling
Puerto
you.
Rican. Like yo, that's
I know that dude.
Uncle Johnny.
Uncle Johnny.
Uncle Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah,
your
Johnny.
grandparents. Uncle Johnny.
That's mad
Oh
funny.
man.
Yes, Uncle Johnny.
Moving on
sorry,
to
guys.
the first one I have up today for the news. We got Epic Games buys Tonic. Tonic are the guys who do the people who do Fall Guys. So I thought that was pretty interesting, them buying Fall Guys. I hope they don't ruin it with maybe they got microtransactions, but hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. But hey, if it gets more money behind it, I really liked Fall Guys. I thought it was a hit. What was it, last summer? And it's been still going strong.
What amount was it?
Huh? What?
How much did they sell it for?
I don't even know.
How much did they get bought for?
Fucking.
Nothing but the most astute research done here.
I know. Looks. Does it even say? Because I don't.
I'm talking shit. I hope I got my numbers right.
I don't even know. Some kind of millions, but
Damn.
Yeah,
lots of numbers.
Yeah, I don't even see it.
As if I'm surprised it's millions of dollars. Like,
right? It wasn't a few hundred.
No, I want to see if it was like $1 billion, because I was gonna be like, oh, that's a lot for like.
Imagine being the guy signing off on that. Like, oh, we're buying who? Sure, let's do it. Let's fucking rock and roll.
Let's do this shit.
They said let's fucking rock and roll right before they. Listen, John, I'm not shitting you here. We're gonna make this deal happen. We're gonna buy those fucks. All right. They're going to work for us. We're going to make the dream happen, all right? Fall Guys is just the beginning of it.
So the beginning of the journey, baby. What else did they make? It was only Fall Guys, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Tonic only did that.
So all the devs are going to be over there too, huh?
Probably.
That's a big deal because...
That's cool.
Yeah, Well, Tencent only owns a little bit of it. I was gonna say that's Tencent money, but they do own a piece of Epic. It's only 40% though. It's not like a 50% stake or anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it really says, to be honest. I'm not seeing any pricing anywhere. Huh? I mean, if it does say it, I don't see it. I don't see where it is, but maybe one of you find
it's a secret.
Yeah,
we don't need to know right now. We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Find out later.
What else we got on the list here? Oh yeah, so today, which is the 10th, the Ninja Turtles 5 Revenge of Shredder got announced with a trailer, and it did the old school. Yo, this is like I tweeted out, like, I feel like old man nostalgia is hitting real hard, because it did the whole original opening, which is hard to find. You can't even find that shit on YouTube. Only the European Hero Turtles bullshit. And so seeing that was pretty awesome. Not original, but they're gonna stick with pixel art, which is something we've been caping for a while. Games or remakes, or especially for like X-Men vs Street Fighter, keeping that pixel art. So the fact that people were bugging out over the fact that it kept that old style, I hope that sends, and it's technically isn't it a Marvel property? or is that a DC property?
It's a DC property.
It is a DC property. Damn it!
Right.
So I was gonna say, but either way,
you had the Ninja, like DC and Warner Bros. Have a big, like they have a deal together. That's how you ended up having the movie versions of the Ninja Turtles in a Mortal Kombat. I mean, an Injustice game.
Injustice 2. Right.
The Ninja Turtles appear in that because of that whole deal. So DC, yeah, it's a DC property.
Okay, all right. So I mean, either way, I mean, hopefully, just seeing the hype around the game, because that's what everybody was hyped for. When I looked at Twitter and I was looking around, everyone's could not believe that they kept the OG like looking. Because yes, it is. Adocap brought up a point like it's more of a 32-bit looking game versus like the old 16-bit, arcadey look. But you know what? I take that over the way Battletoads look, because Battletoads was a game that was from the same era, a beat 'em up. And it should have been pixel art. Now, some might say, Streets of Rage wasn't original pixel art, which, I was a little bit at first at, but it was all hand drawn. So the animations on that just looked fire. Like it was a decent evolution of it. And if Ninja Turtles would have been that, I wouldn't, I guess, but they've already done like all these other styles. So I'm not mad at it. I'll take it, and
I just wish the backgrounds were ever so slightly up-resed, I think is what it is. Because I like the pixel art, like of the characters, I like that.
Yeah.
But I just wish the background was just a little up-res to just make it a little crispier, a little like pop a little more.
I hear that. Hey, it's not out yet, so hopefully there's a chance.
Like that Battletoad shit was just weird.
Yeah,
because like they made it look like fucking like Rayman.
It's like Newgrounds games.
Yeah, like or Flash animation. Yeah, like I know it's a Unity,
beautiful, bright, cartoony art. And that's not what called for that at all.
Exactly. Nobody wants that. Nobody just wants the game. You know what I mean? This goes back to like what I was saying about when that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite bullshit came out, and people were upset because they were missing characters from that were in the series from the first 3 games. And someone's like, "Oh, if you want to play as Dr. Doom, just play as this other guy. He has a similar moveset." Like, no, it's not the point. The point is, I want to play as I want to look at the character I want to play as. Has nothing to do with, So it's like, yeah, I want a Battletoads game, but the artwork is part of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it looking like what I remember is part of that. So the fact that they're sticking to it is a big deal, and I think that's what that game is going to blow up because of that. And I hope that sends waves to the rest of the industry.
Listen,
like, hello,
I'm almost certain that this is already on their radar over at Capcom because they cannot go anywhere else. It's like you've already gone to the shittiest depths you could with the way your characters look in Infinite. Like they look terrible. I remember people making fun of Chun-Li's jaw for like a month because in the trailer her head was like this big on like a bigger body.
Chin.
Like everybody was like fucking shitting on the art. Like, yo, this game looks terrible. Looks like a mobile game. It's
exactly.
like why not go back to, I'm gonna sound like beating a dead horse, but I'm just talking about people are fans of just what they're used to. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to games. Like you could give us, if it's a really good game, you could give us the same thing again and again and again, and we'll eat it up because we're fans of that shit, right?
Exactly.
Like if you release a Grand Theft Auto 6 next year, you're getting a fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 revamped. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like an entirely new experience. It's what you're used to since playing like part 3. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like people are fans of what they're used to. Like you could go back. You're not gonna lose any more money than you did doing this bullshit you tried. Like go back to basics. That's why I think that game will be successful. Like you have to be able to go full blown retro, like those games like Bloodstained did.
Exactly.
The Castlevania dude.
You
know what I mean?
You gotta go full force. You can't half-ass it.
Yeah, you
half-assing stuff is never a good idea.
It's like you can keep that art style and just make a fun game, because at the end of the day, it's just about the game. So it's like they don't have to do all this wild, crazy shit. Just go back to what you had before and just make it a dope game. Because so
like, there's got to be some young talent over on that side that's just kind of really, really seeing it for what it is and like kind of plotting to make it happen. I would hope. You know what I mean? Like if I was a young dev at Capcom right now, I'd be taking notes, like seeing what's left in these archives that I have access to of who, like who created which fighting mechanics and like whose idea was this. I'd be getting down to the nitty gritty of how can I replicate this shit. You know what I mean? Without because obviously a lot of that talent is not around anymore. It's like 20, 25 years ago now. You know, we've been waiting for
Exactly.
so you might not find the guy who worked on Third Impact. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
knowing the formula and being able to replicate that, and then pitching it like, hey, this is what I have for you guys. This shit right here could really, like, this could make shit hot again. You know what I mean?
And what I'm realizing, and what you just made me realize, like you said, the old dudes are probably either working on other shit or not there anymore. But the guys who are there and coming up and who hopefully have like 10 years experience at this point are the ones making the games who are our age. So I'm hoping some of that nostalgia for them is like, yo, this is the dream. I'm a developer and I can make a game that or replicate a game that I loved as a kid. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of callbacks, like way more. Like Ninja is probably just Streets of Rage was the start of it, but this is like really good. It's always been a thing, remakes and all that has always been a thing. But like now that pixel art, I think we're gonna start really seeing like arcade remakes and like spiritual successors coming out a lot more because now all those guys are our age. You know what I mean? Working on everything, or
I think across the board.
So
I think across the board, I think our generation is starting to take over these positions where we kind of direct where the vision is leading. So I think we're gonna be very happy.
You know what I just thought about too? Like, I would like to kind of, all right, you know how when music starts becoming stale and there's no new originality or whatever, people start doing old school R&B or old style hip hop or old style house music, that kind of shit, right? That's
cyclical,
because
man.
Musically, on a commercial level, you can reach like a ceiling where you're just like unable to do anything else, and it's just like, fuck, all this shit sounds the same. Let's take it back to the '90s and try to redo that. I feel like in gaming, they don't hit that same ceiling because gaming is constantly evolving. Like you're gonna next 40, 50, 60 years on a commercial level, the more commercial games get, the more insane they get. Unlike music, in music you have people get to insane levels of fucking popularity, but their music is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I can't compare it to the music thing to like all that much, because I know video games, that's a constantly evolving beast. So teams may not be available to say, yo, let's take 30 years, let's go 30 years backwards when you have like Resident Evil 8 and 9 who are like on the horizon, and that you want to keep that lively and join in a new crowd. So I get it, you know?
Yeah. Oh man,
yeah, music's definitely a bit different.
Oh, speaking of cyclical,
for now, what we got?
Then last week, I think it's almost 2 weeks now since we're a little bit delayed on this recording, but I have a Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes are coming out, and that's cool.
Hey.
And of course, just like in every Pokemon cycle, without fail, everyone's tight. Oh, not everyone. The community is split once again because it's a chibi design versus the more grown up look that they have now. It's like literally like a shot for shot remake just with 3D now. And so
I gotcha.
Yeah, people are a little bit upset about that, which I'm just like, you know what? I don't really care.
People really hate chibi, don't they?
I think it's fine. Like I get it. Like you want to see the because what was it? Sapphire, Omega Sapphire, and the other one, the last remake they made kept the animation style. So everyone was hoping that, when you do the remakes, they usually keep the style of the current games. And since they didn't do that, everyone's like, why wouldn't you do that? Because, you did that with the last remake you guys did, which is true. I get it. I just don't care. Yeah. I like pretty, I'm glad it'll be high res. It'll, I think the battle system is going to be very similar to what we got. Just the overhead map is going to be the same, but I don't care. I really just don't give a shit. I'm a fan of Pokemon. I'm not a diehard fan to care about that type of shit. That open world joint though that they're coming out with, that looks fire.
I was just about to ask. I was like, have you talked about the other one though?
I forget the name of that shit, but that one, yes, that looks fire. That one looks dope though. That's what I've always wanted in a Pokemon game. Something that looks a little more older. It's not that it looks like it's going to be more on the mature side. And I think this is going to be their first step because they have a huge adult audience that they're not pandering to at all. They're not catering to people my age. you're still you're still catering to
Well, because we're the ones who started it. We're carrying the torch. We're still
exactly. So it's like
they should realize like this is a natural progression, I think, of the series too. Like
exactly. So I'm happy that they're doing that. Keeping it's an old, it's a familiar the Jotun was it, or it's it's a familiar map or area
right.
or whatever that we've been to already, but now in feudal Japan or whatever it's supposed to be. So I think that's going to be really cool. I'm excited for that part. And I hope the battling is dope, because people like, will complain. So what people don't realize about Pokemon, if you don't like Pokemon, what people don't realize, yes, the story is for children. It's probably always going to be for children. So maybe the next one will be a little bit more mature, even though it has like, there's been a couple that are like, well, that's a little dark, like they want to kill everybody and murder the whole world. But the feel is still catered to children. But the battle system has always been very technical and on a level that a lot of children don't get. Some might get, maybe the 12 and 13-year-olds, but it's always been like that part of it has always been like what pulls me in, like knowing what teams work, what meta to use, and what moves good against one, like knowing all that shit. That's where the it's more for the teenagers to adult part of the series. So so anyway, but moving on, what you got for us, AutoCAD?
Well, I mean, I guess we can stick with Nintendo, and we might have mentioned it here. We're hoping for a newer version or updated version of the Switch, and there are some rumors swirling around that there might be 2 new models. One's like an upgraded one, and I believe they were talking about like a full 4K screen, things like that, which would be fire. Yes. I would love like a dope full 4K screen.
Wait, you heard that there's a 4K screen?
That's what I was,
or that the dock is going up to 4K.
More computing power and 4K high definition graphics.
Yeah, for the dock, not for the
is that
screen.
What it's
going to be a 720 OLED screen.
Oh, still okay. So maybe that's what it was. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Either way, I'll take that. I'm more than happy with that.
Now I'm wondering
What's that?
No, I'm just wondering if they're ever gonna do if what's gonna happen. Like, is that gonna be backward compatible with, like, can I just buy the dock and have some games just up res, or is it gonna be a completely different type of Switch? That's what I'm wondering, because that'll be kind of fire if you think about it. Like, you can play some of the games on the small screen, and then you can dock it for that sexy deliciousness. I just hope for this whole thing that they do that. If you don't want 4K or don't care about that you can put it in 1080p and have better frame rate, because some of these games just look terrible. I'm just like, what is going on?
Do they? See, I don't mess with my Switch too much, but
some games there's a lot of prettiness, but there's like the latest Zelda Hyrule Warriors on the small screen, which games normally look better on the small screen. It looked bad. It was blurry. It was so blurry. I was like,
what?
Wow. Like, to keep the frame rate, I guess, high. Like, it was pretty. It was download the demo. I'm telling you, if you check out the demo, that's what I did. I downloaded the demo, and I was like, I mean, it's playable. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, oh my, like, oh my god. Like, even Zelda didn't look that blurry at all. That shit looked pretty. It looked like it. I don't know. It didn't look that good to me.
Yeah. I think we can all agree. Nintendo needs to up their game right around now.
But anyway,
sure.
Moving on, Microsoft and Bethesda finally finalized their Microsoft finalized their acquisition of Bethesda. So that's awesome news. It definitely went through, and I didn't know that it also brings a few other companies with them, mainly being Arcane Studios, and their offices in France and Texas. id Software, of course, which is fire. ZeniMax. And ZeniMax is a huge one too.
Well, ZeniMax is the company they bought, and then under ZeniMax
and then they have these guys.
But
yeah, I didn't know about Arcane mostly, which I'm pretty stoked about. I like Arcane a lot.
The interesting thing about Arcane is that they're the ones making Deathloop, which is a PS5 exclusive.
I know. Hey, Microsoft's gonna make money off that, baby.
And Spencer already said he's gonna he has to, I'm sure, for legal reasons, he has to keep that deal going. So even though it's finalized, you actually may see a Microsoft Studios go across the screen when you play on your PS5.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But for the most part, Bethesda says they're going to be pretty independent, which I think everybody assumed anyways. They're so big, they have so much history behind them, so that's that. And then the last bit of news, Azalea Banks, rapper extraordinaire, Just kidding. Sold a sex tape with her boyfriend on the blockchain for $17,000. People paid $17,000 to hear Azealia Banks fuck her boyfriend on vinyl.
That's it.
What am I doing wrong, people? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to do?
That news really just blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, so the new craze, the new hotness out here are NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. It's basically a one-of-a-kind digital token that is now linked with ownership of something. So people are doing it with music, pieces of artwork, like Banksy did one. I think Jack Dorsey sold his first tweet as an NFT. And so she has auctioned off a vinyl of the sound of her fucking her boyfriend for $17K.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing something wrong.
Art, man.
Art, man. Yeah.
Art, man.
Yeah, like you just wouldn't understand. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
How about you? I'm gonna just sell myself doing.
What you got? Yeah.
I'm just gonna sell that.
Wow. We shouldn't hear that. Thanks. Good night.
$80,000.
$80K, baby.
Yo, you want to know how much that
you
sold
want the other
for?
cheek? You want the other cheek?
Exactly.
Wow.
Double cheek love.
Fucking stupid. Oh.
Double cheek love.
There we go.
Double cheek love. I sound just like his vocoder.
That's it. That's it.
That's it right there, bro.
It's not funny.
What you got for us, Jose?
Okay, well, we're a little late on this just because we've been, moving how we must move, you know what I mean? But we finally got a Mortal Kombat trailer.
Hey, yes, damn, that's right. We haven't even spoken on that yet. Damn.
Mortal Kombat, and boy, let me tell you, this is since become the most viewed Red Band trailer ever.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
Oh wow.
Mortal Kombat is still doing shit like that, right? So
wow, that's impressive.
The trailer features the likes of all of our favorites, well, some of our favorite Mortal Kombat characters. You have Kano, Sonya, Kung Lao. You have Liu Kang. You even have a few people who make it into the trailer that you're not sure if that's who it is. Like, there's Reptile in the trailer, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm gonna leave that for when I watch the movie, right? I mean, it looks awesome, man. I can't lie. I'm a huge fan of the series. I've been waiting a long time for a new movie, and let me tell you, they look phenomenal. Like the costumes, everybody looks excellent. I'm a huge fan of Joe Taslim, who is portraying Bihan Sub-Zero, the first version of Sub-Zero. So in this movie, they've confirmed that Sub-Zero is the fucking villain. I know he's working for Shang Tsung, and he's just chasing people to bring them to the tournament. But if anybody remembers in Mortal Kombat, the first movie, when Sub-Zero and Scorpion appear, Sonya tries to pull out a gun on him, and he just freezes it and breaks it off. Remember that? You were like, "Oh, cool, he broke her gun." So in this movie,
cool.
It's a similar situation where you have another Special Forces agent, Jax, who's Sonya's partner. He tries to pull a gun on Sub-Zero, tries to shoot him, and the second he does that, Sub-Zero freezes the pellets from the shotgun, looks at it, and proceeds to break off Jax's arms. So
fire.
Yeah. So now we have another origin for how Jax lost his arms, because we're all familiar. I mean, everybody remembers the rumors. Oh, I heard he was in a mirror match and he ripped his own arms off. Like, those are rumors since back in the day. But in the storyline, it turned out Ermac was the one who telepathically ripped his arms off. So that was the continuity up until the movie. But it looks excellent. I can't wait to see it. April 16th is the day. We're about 56 days out. Wow, I am literally counting the fucking days. So anybody who hasn't checked that out yet, I don't know why. You should. It looks great. We might have the first great video game adaptation. I thought Silent Hill is still the best video game adaptation in terms of capturing the mood. Mortal Kombat, also great. But I think we might have one that really sets the bar high here.
36 days. Not 56.
It's right around the corner.
Oh yeah, shit. I don't know why.
1 million days.
I'm living in last month.
I know, I was like 50. How many days? Like April's next month, isn't it? It's almost 2 months away. I was like,
I did say, listen, March 15th, 25 days from now.
Right? Using the 2020 time dilation there.
The 2020 timeline. I'm going on 2020 time, guys.
Right?
Fucking leave me alone. All right, moving on. We have a fucking my heart bleeds for you guys. Rust servers caught fire. There are I don't even know the amount of people who are affected by this, but all I know is that this is people who, you know, everybody knows the Rust community. If you're not familiar with it, the Rust community is notorious for putting in thousands of hours into these types of games. This shit is like Minecraft, but years ago. You know what I mean? Griefing people and fucking just building forts and creating like your own world. That's been people grinding this game, and now, you know, there's a huge amount of people who you know, they don't know how the fire started, but all the servers at the data center completely burned. They're going to replace them, but of course none of that data could be recovered, none of it could be restored, so these people are assed out, bro. Like, I don't know how this is going to affect the Rust community. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in knowing if there are any big streamers that were affected by it, because I don't know. I mean, there's been like a big resurgence of Rust players.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Months. Of all the times that this shit gonna happen, it happened at its new peak of people coming back to it. So
maybe that's why it happened. Maybe there was a loose wire somewhere. It was like heat overload.
Maybe somebody. Maybe there was a disgruntled. Nah, let's not even throw that kind of conspiracy shit in the air.
Stapler, right? Exactly.
That bitch down.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that sucks, man. You know, it's very. I would want to quit after that. You know.
So, I would quit. Exactly. For years of work, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's like, years of work,
like,
man.
Final Fantasy and all my stuff goes out the window. I'm 75 with my Black Mage back in the day. I'm
done. Exactly.
Ooh, no.
I'm finished. Never ever going back.
That's like same thing. Like if I lost my character data for some reason, oh man, that shit would be horrible. For 14, I've been playing that shit for 7 years now. So,
bro, I would never even make fun of something like that, because I think the same thing about some shit happening like that with like Spotify. I would fucking cry.
Yeah.
And it made me realize I'm way too I depend too much on that shit. So pretty soon I'm gonna start rebuilding my own. I need to get like a terabyte.
I was gonna say,
recreate every single playlist I have, and as I add on, I kind of have like a notepad document showing what song is what.
Yeah,
dude, this shit is like literally 80 hours of hand-picked tracks over the course of like. I started this playlist before fucking Spotify was around. I just transferred it to Spotify, like I rebuilt it there. But if that shit went down right now, man, it would make my life hell.
Yeah, I hear that.
Oh yeah,
that shit is wild, and it's funny because that brings us to the topic of the day.
Topic of the day.
No, wait, no.
Oh,
Dakota got to do it.
Oh, yeah, Dakota, let's hear it.
All right. It's the topic of the day.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh man. So yeah, it's crazy how that happened with Rust, because and what really makes me feel for that is because the reason we even picked the topic that we're going to be discussing is survival games, because with the height now of its popularity, which is Valheim, if you haven't already obviously heard about it, Valheim has been doing pretty damn good this last month. It's only been out like I think a solid month, maybe 5 weeks now, and it's literally made $1 million a week since it, if not more. By now, I haven't seen any other updates, but 5 million players or downloads, in a month, and that's pretty crazy. And I've been playing with the community. I have a dedicated server. See, what's good about Valheim and things like Minecraft, well, Java edition, because then there's also Minecraft Realms, which is hosted by Microsoft, so the same thing could happen to like Minecraft if like a server farm got destroyed. But is you can host your own local dedicated server. And and as a lot of you heard, I upgraded my PC this last week, Yay! I upgraded my PC, but like an idiot, I didn't back up a lot of the stuff because I just thought I could reinstall Windows, and it just gave me hell to do that. So I have everyone's data hostage that is on my server, who's put in like 100 hours onto the dedicated server I'm running, and I felt for them because I mean, thank goodness. Like I had a feeling, I was like, I don't want to lose hundreds of hours of other people's data. You know, I don't want it to be my fault. So I actually backed it up on a Google Drive. And I have, I was doing nightly backups whenever people were playing, and it's a good thing I did that because oh man, I had it on a M.2 SSD, and just for better speeds or whatever, I don't know, whatever could help, for the server, I put it on that, and it's a tiny file for the server. It's only like a gig, I think, and so I just threw it on there, but I don't have a reader. I needed to get the shit installed, and I was just like, damn, what am I gonna do? And and I felt terrible because I'm like, Valheim's people putting time in. So that, like you said, that sucks for people who lost hours and hours of that stuff. But yeah,
thank you.
But yeah, survival games, man, like they're freaking crack. Like I think the first one I ever, what's the first one? Do you guys? Well, what about you, Attica? I think about this. Is there any survival game that like really got you? Yeah.
The first I ever played, wow, shit. Life is a survival game. Shit, I don't even know. Crap.
Yeah,
what qualifies fully as a survival game? Like, would a Left 4 Dead qualify as a survival game?
No, I'm thinking more I mean,
more like State of Decay.
Yeah, I would say like survival's like you start with almost nothing or very minimal tools and build your way up. So something like Minecraft, you start with absolutely nothing, your fist. You got to punch a tree to get your first pieces of wood to then make a pickaxe. Well, you can a wooden pickaxe or a wooden axe, and then you go from there.
Yeah,
I would say the first. I think Minecraft was the first one I played.
Was it? Yeah, I'm trying to think before Minecraft. I know there was one because I kind of have one in my mind, but I can't place what it was. But it was similar that you start off, really bare minimum, and you kind of gotta just.
I mean, there's things like
Let me get a list here. Let me use the power of the internet.
There's what's that one popular one that the sequel's about to come out, I think, or they finally talked about the sequel. Shit.
Shit. I've never heard of shit.
Shit. No. What the hell's the name of it now? The fucking
Dying Light.
No, not Dying Light. Even though a lot of the games, it's funny because even though like full-fledged survival games that I feel like I've only played a few. Like then you have like survival horror and things like that where you have minimal things and you have to survive. But I was gonna say let me see. How's the name of the game? The Forest. The Forest is.
Oh, the Forest, right? Yeah.
That's a game. But anyway, after Minecraft, playing that and I got straight up addicted to it. Like shortly after that, I got into 7 Days to Die, and that probably is the first one that I got like stupid addicted to it. Like literally, I took a vacation. This is in 2017. It was before I even started streaming or doing any kind of content creation. I had to use vacation time. Fucking, they told me you have to use it all. You're gonna lose it. It was December, so I took 2 weeks off in December. And I had like literally like a few days before I got into it, I freaking got addicted to 7 Days to Die, which is almost, I call it like the adult Minecraft because it's a lot scarier. It's a zombie. It's a survival / zombie tower defense. So you pretty much every 7 days, a horde of zombies comes. It goes in-game clock goes day by day. Every night. You have the zombies turn feral, so they can start running. They start running at you. They become a little more powerful. But then on the 7th day, a horde of zombies comes out, and then every 7 days after that, they get the difficulty goes up on each horde. So you have to spend that week. It's every 7 hours if you don't make any changes to the default settings. So at 1 hour is 24 hours in game. So every 7 hours it gets harder and harder. So you have 7 hours to like build up your stuff. And
that's cool,
and it's a fun game. It's been an alpha for like 8 years, but
I was gonna say, yeah.
But there was a whole it was one of those like murky like development hell type of things. It's only like a very small team working on it, and then now they had to rebuild a lot of the underbelly, and then now the updates have been consistent. So now it's been like the game is really making a lot of progress. Very fun game. It's always on sale. I highly suggest.
You're paying
7
this
Days
on
to
PC?
Die. Yeah, it's on console, but it's a very old version. On PC, that's where they're updating it because they lost the rights to the console version.
Oh, really? Oh,
wow.
Yeah. It was like what was it? Like I think who makes the Resident Evil? I'm not Resident Evil. The Walking Dead games.
Oh, Telltale.
Telltale. They owned, I think, the console like rights to do, and then Telltale took a shit, and I think like there was something there, and they ended up not getting the rights back to the console version. So, but I think now there's a chance. But anyway, but that was a game that I got really stuck on. Then I took a break and I got
so cool.
Yeah, and then got stuck on it again.
Yeah. And Minecraft was my first, I guess, survival because I did play. I didn't get hooked to it when it first came out. I played so little of it that it didn't really stick with me.
Oh, I see. So what other survival games have you played?
Oh, well, I mean, after that, I did Conan Exiles, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Until I learned that you could get absolutely obliterated and all your hard work wiped out by other real life players as you slept peacefully. Not a big deal. And then No Man's Sky, of course.
No Man's Sky,
which has only gotten like better and better, and it's actually fire now.
Yep.
And I love it. And then of course Valheim. I've been on Valheim.
Valheim's been crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Jose? Have you gotten into any survival games? I know you played like some mobile stuff.
I mean, when it comes to the bigger known ones, I haven't really touched them because they're mainly like PC games, and I just, for those that don't know, Games here helped me build this PC just a year ago. A little over a year ago, right before the pandemic started, and it was for the purpose of video editing and making music and gaming. So I'm still new to the PC gaming world, but on mobile, there was a game that I was playing for a while called Last Day on Earth Survival. Like survival is literally in the title, right? And it's kind of like an overhead, kind of like not exactly 100% overhead, but kind of like Hotline Miami, like at that angle,
It's nice isometric, yeah.
Right. So you have like that kind of setup, and you start in the middle of nowhere in some like red boxer shorts. You don't have anything on you, and you have to like find branches on the floor, and you could craft like an axe, and then you go from crafting an axe to finding materials, and you could go to other parts of the map. And there's zombies and dogs that chase you and stuff like that. But, just a grind. Like, you're getting stone, you're getting wood, you're upgrading your backpack that you find, you're upgrading. It's 110% survival. The only thing is that the game is such a grind. Like, I'm telling you, I did the mistake of joining a Facebook group where I got to see what they were doing because that's how into the game I was. I was so fucking addicted. I couldn't stop, right? I had my little shack built. It was next to a car that had a bunch of stuff in it. Like I was killing it. And I had my whole house laced up in like wood and everything was good. But then I go onto this fucking Facebook group and everybody's like, "Oh, I got marble floors and shit." And I'm like, "Bro, you understand how many for one wood slab it took like 50 wood branches." Like you have to the crafting in that game was so fucking absurd, bro.
Yeah,
that I could never get more than maybe 3 or 4 like oak planks at a time, or like I think I got concrete like once, and I came the next day and my house was fucked up because zombies were like walking around in my shit. Like overnight they destroyed
that money then.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, fuck, and I'm seeing people with full blown houses and all this crazy shit.
Palace.
I'm like, man, fuck this. This game is like people are hacking it, and then people are buying like nonstop shit. Fuck that, I'm done. And that was it.
I actually forgot one on. My bad, I forgot one on that I played on Roblox. Do you guys fuck with Roblox?
My kids do. So, and I've been trying to mess around with it a little bit more.
They're in the news a lot, like this week.
Yeah, they went public,
their
right?
stock just came out. They just went public, by the dip. Anyways,
Yep.
Invest in Doge. So I played Roblox, and they have a mode, and it's like they drop you in a massive IKEA, right? Like the ceilings are like 50 feet high. It's a huge IKEA, it goes on in every direction for a long, long time. And you walk around, they have like all the setup, sofas and things like that. But you basically survive because every 7 in-game hours, all of a sudden the lights, poof, they turn off, and then the employees try to kill you. They chase you around the IKEA, and they're like, "The IKEA is closed. Please leave." And they beat the shit out of you.
Holy shit!
Chase you around. Yeah, it's creepy as hell. It's low key creepy. And you have to like build forts, and you have to get like chips and water and drink and eat to survive. And then like food and stuff only spawns every 7th day. So like you have to hoard it. Like it's hilarious. It's so fucking hilarious.
Yo,
but yeah, it's very interesting. Roblox.
I mean, I don't know. That sounds all. I'm thinking. Hearing you talk about everything you need to do in this game.
Yeah.
I find myself. We're gonna. This is gonna go 180 degrees. I'm pissed off at Capcom again. Right?
What do they do now? What do they do?
I'm thinking about the idea that these motherfuckers definitely see where all the big crazes are. They see where all the big, like, why not be the first people to come out with a Resident Evil based survival game for console that you're constantly updating? Like a straight up survival game with some side characters.
That's true. How have they not done that?
And it interacts with the main story. Like, what is wrong with the people over at Capcom that you're not Capcom? You created that fucked up environment, you know, like the Raccoon City. Imagine having to survive Raccoon City.
That'd be dope.
That's
true. And the few NPCs you do run into are like the established, you know, evil characters.
Exactly, like a Chris Redfield or a Hunk telling you, listen, things are about to get crazy. You should get out of here now. You're just like, okay, leave with Hunk or you can stay, and you you know, like
maybe that's how you spawn like the bosses, like the world bosses. You spawn
right.
You know?
Think about that. Think about 7 days, like what you were 7 days to die, and think about what you were talking about with Roblox. Think about those elements incorporated into a Resident Evil style, and you could literally call it Resident Evil Survival, and make it like a game that just doesn't go away. It's gonna be constantly updated for years to come.
And the thing is, they're trying to do that, and they've been failing. It's funny because like Part 3 had that multiplayer game, and then now 8 it's gonna have that other like arcade like thing, and it's like they've been trying so hard to make a microtransaction game, and it's like that's the only thing I don't trust them, you know, with is like, because that's the only reason why they want to make anything. But you're right, like for like brand recognition now with this whole first person thing, they could totally make a Resident Evil survival game. Yeah, no, you're because 7 Days to Die literally feels like
Japanese
that.
Companies make
survival games?
Japanese companies make survival horror games? Yeah.
I don't.
Is it just a genre they're really not good at?
Like regular survival games?
You know, some genres they just can't do. Yeah, like one of, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Maybe
Any Japanese based
don't understand
ones.
The genre. Maybe they just don't get it.
I think the closest one that you have,
some genres they just don't quite get. So.
The closest thing we have to that, honestly, and it's I just realized, is fucking without the building is Zelda Breath of the Wild was literally took the best like elements of survival games, because you got to collect resources, you got to cook, you know your weapons break, you have to forge for things, like that they made that like Zelda the survival
Horizon
game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like they put a lot of survival elements into Zelda, because it's an open world. You can go wherever you want. There's no real path, and then you have to, you know, survive by eating and drinking and doing all that stuff. And then you can climb anywhere.
Well, how about we recreated ourselves in Roblox? We designed it, because that's the power of Roblox. You can build the game yourself.
Right.
Then we get, you know, sued by Capcom, and as we get sued, we make a deal with them. And
it feels like nobody gets fucking sued. Like, yo, it's. Like,
I mean, I think you get a cease and desist. That's pretty. You know, it's pretty cool that they're acknowledging.
Exactly. That's all I need. Acknowledge me, senpai.
We'll stop.
But no, you know, you really got me thinking about like Resident Evil survival game, because this is what I think about. Like, imagine, like you said, you have Raccoon City or something like that. You know, it could be something similar to like 7 Days to Die, where you have the zombies and stuff walking around and having to go and look, or it could be like a State of Decay. State of Decay is probably the closest.
Exactly
thing.
What I was gonna say. State of Decay. Put it in Raccoon City. Make the few NPCs you come across Resident Evil characters. throw little fucking Easter eggs from each of like the first 3 games into there, and like imagine coming across like a medallion that says like a blue scarf or some shit like that belongs to Jill or whatever, like you know what I mean, like
subtle shit. Hell yeah.
And you could have think about this. You could have certain dungeons or whatever, because that's what like 7 Days kind of does. Like that are like, you know, little runs on think like supply runs or whatever, and you could go explore the full fucking mansion. That'd be, imagine that shit. Like you could go explore the mansion, the part 1's mansion, the fucking police station. You know, you could fucking do the whole thing. Even the train from Resident Evil 0, that it was like a whole train. The whole opening was like a train scene. Imagine that shit where those are.
There are no like indoor survival like games like that. Like, what if you did like you could have these cool indoor spaces that, you know what I mean, they're self-contained. They're not
like
they're not just these tiny shacks and shit. Like like Dawn of the Dead. Am I thinking? Where they're in the mall and shit.
Oh, that's what the hell's the name of it? It's dead something. I forget.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, like that, like a huge, massive mall.
Well, because then there's the video game, right?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking the video. I was thinking the movie, but the video.
game you're right, because and then there's that game. Oh,
I can't think of the game now.
Anyway, but yeah, Dead Rising. Dead Rising.
Oh, Dead Rising.
Yeah. Which was also fun in its own way.
Yeah. So exactly, cool. like that's what that's what I want now. I want that. I want fucking Resident.
It just bugs me out because there aren't many other companies that have a title that's worthy of taking on that. You think about survival horror games, they belong to a fucking certain group. It's like survival horror games are always Capcom, or they were always Konami, you know, with Silent Hill. There wasn't like 100 different companies making survival horror games. That's why when you came across like Overblood, it's fucking funny and it's hilarious. It's like, wow, this wants to be a Capcom game so bad. But they're not like hundreds of companies out there doing that genre. So like it just bugs me out that it kind of in my eyes it's something that belongs to them. They could completely capitalize off of it. You know what I mean? Like a Resident Evil survival or a Raccoon City survival, and you present it as a game that's gonna be like State of Decay. Yo, bro, look at the people. Like, you're gonna have like a Warzone type feel, is what I feel. Like, the amount of people who gravitate toward that is gonna be like when Warzone came out, when everybody was like, dude, get on that Warzone, that shit's fire. It'll be the same idea, you know, for that. Like Raccoon City survival drop, yo, get on that. That shit's actually fire. And everybody's like doing their raids and doing shit like think about that. Think about finding letters and like, oh, there's a hidden room in the bottom of the police station. Check it out. There might be supplies there, and you go with your team to like do this, and you come across like a horde, and you fucking collect everything that's in there. Like that shit. That's the kind of shit like. There's so many ways to have fun with this and really genuinely make people happy.
Let me ask this now. So let's get to the nitty gritty, right? So we have like the mechanics down, what we want to see. How would you rather them monetize it? Like, would you be willing to do like a subscription based thing? Like, if it's good enough, do you think they could pull that off? Like, all right, a $10 sub and you get to live in this, survival world. Or would it be like a free to play where you just want small little trinkets and shit like that?
If me personally, I would try to go the Fortnite approach.
Yeah,
like I would try my best to. I think that a game like that, which is why I'm saying Capcom using the Resident Evil brand is a smart way to do this. I would think that it would be everything's promotion. I feel like if they went behind that product and believed in it so much, and they started showing videos and shit of gameplay like 2 months out, like really, really putting it in your heads that this game is gonna be the shit, you're gonna make a shitload of money on microtransactions, like getting Chris Redfield's jacket or getting a certain type of motorcycle or stuff like that, which is the player is up to them. It has nothing to do with a subscription service. Like
they're nowhere near that savvy enough though.
Exactly. But that's the shame, because other companies will come out and do that shit, like Epic. People always do this easiest shit. Like, I mean, not that running a game like fucking Fortnite's easy, but I'm saying the idea behind let's release a battle royale where you build this shit and it has to be, like that. idea, really look what the fuck it did. Like there hasn't been a game that big in years.
Well, those dudes, their marketing team or their event coordinators, whatever it is, those guys are like geniuses because they got their finger on the pulse, as it were.
Right.
And I mean, with the concerts and shit like that, like you can't really match that. That shit is unheard of.
I think a big part of me is just such a huge fan of Capcom, and I'm trying to think of every way that they could just not get dry and fucking die as a company. Because even right now, the cool stuff they did with the Resident Evil 2 remake, the Resident Evil 3 remake, and them doing like retro, going back to the past, that's drying up already.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's already getting like they only have like 2 more of those in them. They got to start
one of them, Veronica.
Exactly.
I tell you
exactly. They can't do it for much longer. Yeah. You look at the fighting game community; the people ain't happy with them. And then Resident Evil is like, I think Resident Evil 8 looks fun as shit. I played the demo and it's fun. I think that game will be really good. It's just I don't know if it's gonna be good enough where it like breathes life into the company in such a huge way. You know what I'm saying?
They need something bold. They need either a new IP or they got to radically redesign. Like,
and they have the potential.
3D realistic. They got IPs.
Because think Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter has a lot of survival elements in it. So if they just took the team that does Monster Hunter, they could totally work together with the Resident Evil team. And make a survival game because the Monster Hunter team already got the whole like open world thing going for them with story. It's monetized. It's monetized in small ways. So if they did it like Monster Hunter, where it's not Monster Hunter, it has microtransactions, but it's emotes. It's a couple of skins. It's nothing crazy, and it's not intrusive at all. It's like there's no store in the game. You buy it externally. If they did that. Kept the style of monster, like do it the way they do it with Monster Hunter, but in the Resident Evil world, where like where you're running down the street, it's just regular zombies. But then if you go to like certain locales or like dungeon style like buildings, where like you have to go through the whole police station, which is modeled, maybe even keep some of the same puzzles, so and then add its own content. You know what I mean? And because come on, how hot would that be? You're playing, you go to the police station, you got to push those 2 statues over to get the jewel or whatever, and like
it'd be excellent.
Like literally have like maybe not the whole game, obviously, or like
maybe there's even a few puzzles we didn't know about.
Or some new stuff, or like maybe the first few puzzles are the same, but then if you want to get deeper into the police station, then it's like they change it up there or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they could totally do that. Like I feel like it would take a lot. But
it would.
Well, because it would be like a dungeon. So
that's what I'm saying.
It's an instance almost. So
so I think that
for everybody on the server, every group on the server could. Yeah.
And they do it already with Monster Hunter. Like I said, I'm like, wait a minute, Monster Hunter is not even completely monetized like that. Monster Hunter is actually like they put a lot. Like it was like 3 years worth of content on Monster Hunter without
I forgot,
for free with one expansion. They give a lot of free shit. Like that's
what I mean. Like.
They could do it.
They could do it. They could do it. Like I feel like at this point, how we have Rockstar San Diego, Rockstar Toronto. You got the team in New York. Like Rockstar I feel like Hawaii. Capcom needs a time. Capcom needs a team. I would like call it like Capcom 99. You know what I mean? Because that's the end. That's the end of that decade or whatever, and just have them focus on doing redos of old shit. Like that if Capcom 99 is working on a title, it's gonna be some fire from the past that they're bringing back in a big way or continuing. You know what I mean? Like, the guys at Capcom 99 are working on a new Dino Crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like,
where is Dino Crisis, bro? Like, come on, it's such an easy one to bring back.
That's easy. It's literally Resident Evil with a fucking Velociraptor.
Wait, why do I feel like I recently heard something about that though?
And I did. There was a rumor about that. There was a rumor about that, but I don't know if it was just one of those things.
I mean, it's
that caught traction because of all the other old stuff.
Was that a part of the leak?
Oh no, there's a remake.
Is there?
Oh no, I'm lying.
It might have been a part of the leak. I can't remember.
Oh no, I'm lying. I'm full of shit. I'm a fool.
April 1st.
It's literally on April 1st. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
Is it April Fool's or is this legit?
I don't know. I don't think so. Cause I feel like I would have heard more about that.
Yeah, I think I remember this being just an April Fool's joke.
Oh wow. this is pretty new news.
Actually,
I don't know, but
20th anniversary.
Dino Crisis spiritual successor announced. What does this mean for a remake?
Maybe that's what I was thinking. Yeah, which one? What is that one?
Oh, there was an Easter egg though in Resident Evil 8 demo. Apparently, I didn't know that.
Of Dino Crisis?
Yeah, It says Dino Crisis remake rekindled fans' hopes after an Easter egg in Resident Evil Village, or maybe in the trailer. I don't know if it was in the demo or the trailer.
Oh, what is it? I'm interested.
I know I heard something. Yeah, I knew something recent. I was like, okay.
Oh, the name of the protagonist. It's not a whole lot.
Titled Instinction.
Oh, what is this? Dino Hazard. Dino Hazard.
But yeah, I would totally take.
Indie dev is making something similar.
Yo, leave it. It's always the indie devs, yo. It's like they're the ones like saving fucking everything at this point.
Well, yeah, that's
but
what
it
I was.
Is then they get sued into fucking oblivion for it.
No, I mean, no, I don't mean like making the IP. I mean, they're the ones like taking like the ideas for like making the spiritual successors. You know what I mean? That are legals.
Oh, I got
you.
I'm telling you, in the next, I feel like in the next 2 or 3 years, we're gonna get an announcement from like an indie team for like a new fighting game, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna fucking breathe life into that whole world. I fucking feel it. Like there's somebody having this talk with their friends, but they have all the resources available and they have the skills to make it happen. They have a small team and they're thinking of these characters and drawing people. It's always silent, and then out of nowhere some shit comes out and it just fucking rocks the house. And I feel like we're gonna get like a Marvel versus Capcom 2 style game, set with original characters, and they're gonna cater to the people that are trying to create that. And I feel it because, dude, we're at the end. Like, it's been like fucking 30 years and we only have 5 Street Fighters. You know that's not true. We've had like fucking 40. Like we're kind of like slowly getting over that shit. You know, like we need something fresh.
What would you think if a new IP, but what if it changed formats in a way? What if the next craze for fighting games is in VR? What if
I'd have to see it to believe it?
That'd be wild, yeah.
Maybe it's like a corny ass Rock'em Sock'em Robot, movie. But people
you
and their
just
VR
do the
things, and maybe
like
it's
that
a
in
fucking
there.
combo or something. I don't know.
I mean, dude, I really can't think of.
I don't know.
Oh, like in Black Mirror, you mean? Like that fighting game?
Striking Vipers.
Striking Vipers? Yeah. You want to
play
that?
Jose,
you want to play Striking Vipers with me, bro.
Bro,
we can both be chicks.
Every single one of them.
We can both be chicks. You know, that way, nobody has to get pegged.
What can I watch?
Yes.
Let me watch. Yes.
I mean, that wouldn't be that bad.
Bro,
if I could play Striking Vipers and we're just both just like, doing nasty stuff to each other, just two big-breasted women.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
No big deal.
Imagine that phone call. Like, dude, you getting on tonight?
You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll be on at 11, and I got 11:02. You're like, dude, hello, where are you?
What's taking so? Yo, you always late, man. Yo, come on.
Oh, I need this. I need this today.
Pfeffer went out, man. Let's go. My night is free. I just want to play video games, bro.
Imagine having that talk with your friend.
Oh my god.
If you don't know what we're talking about, please go watch Fighting Vipers episode of Black Mirror. Please.
Yeah.
Do yourself. If you're a video game fan and you haven't seen that, please do yourself a favor and watch that.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Very interesting. That was the best episode of that season, even though people want to say it was the weirdest. It was definitely the best episode.
It was the best one.
Yeah, it was the most interesting.
They did exactly what they wanted. Like their whole point of making that episode was to get people talking and make people uncomfortable because of the idea of does that make you, like, they were bringing the question, does this make you gay if you're a man playing a game with your man, but he's actually a girl in the game?
Come on, man, giving it all away.
No, I mean that's hey, it's fucking 3 years old.
That's true. That is.
Yeah, that's true. Spoiler alert.
We went through a pandemic. Fuck
true.
you if you haven't seen this shit.
It's still worth a watch, even if you know the basic premise.
Yeah, it's worth the watch. There's a lot of shit in there that just makes that episode hilarious.
I was gonna say, there's a whole lot of dynamics going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even up to the very fucking end.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anything else we want to cover? Any other ideas? Because I mean, we're pretty good on time right now.
I was gonna say, we've been killing it. This was a fucking fantastic episode.
Yeah, Enoch Noah. For those that don't know what I'm saying, if you look at a cat's screen, it says game on, but on his side it comes up reversed. So it sounds like you're speaking... yeah. You see, it sounds like you're speaking fucking Klingon.
Yeah. All right, so I think that kind of wraps it up for this episode. A little bit shorter than most, but I think that's good. Hopefully your car ride was going well, and or your train ride to work. Thank you for listening, everybody. Guys, you guys need Twitters that people can tweet at you and scream at you and curse you guys out. We need it.
I don't want to be twatted at.
Twatted. You're gonna get twatted, guys.
I don't want that in my life. So I don't need that stress.
In the meantime,
follow me at.
I will soon. I promise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Were you guys waiting on me?
Yeah, I can follow you at.
Waiting on me? Oh no, because I don't have a Twitter, guys. It was a lie.
Cake is a lie.
It was a lie.
Like, huh? What? Stop the music. But yeah, in the meantime, definitely get us at VGXL Podcast on Twitter. Scream at me if you want that Stadia, and I know you do. Just tweet something at me. Tweet something, please. It's free. You get a free month. Free games to play. Part of that free month. There's like 30 games now for free that
Oh man, look at Stadia. Google's treating the Stadia like those pairs of socks that come in your laundry that don't belong to you.
Yeah,
like. When you pick up your laundry, you're like, who the fuck socks are these? And you picked up somebody else's shit by accident. That's how you just toss them shit to the side. That's how Google's treating the Stadia right now, bro.
Oh, man. Yo. Yeah, fucking Google. Anyway, but yeah, and shout out, I meant to say it earlier, but shout out to the Idiot Ezra podcast. He mentioned us again on his last episode. They're from the same neighborhood that Jose and I grew up in. And nice. Shout out to you guys. That hopefully we could do a collab soon. If not next week, the week after. Definitely looking to have Ezra on here. He's a funny guy. Talks about video games. So if you haven't listened to his Friday show, which I think now he's separating the two shows. So now you have Idiot Sports Talk, and now he's keeping the Idiot Ezra podcast as his variety show. Which I think I wouldn't mind doing that here. I think we could go off on some movies, something like that. So we can definitely cover variety. So, that's something that I think is fun, and we can talk about all things just nerd and related, video game related stuff. So whether it's movies, comics, or whatever, it's definitely something we can talk about. But and if there is anything you want to hear us banter on about, again, tweet at us please on Twitter. Or leave comments on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button so you can get alerts. You can turn alerts on and leave a comment. Curse us out. Tell me how bumming my beard looks. Okay. Something. Insult me. I love it. I take it. You know what I always say? If I say something stupid, say fuck you games. And that's kind of the going thing on my stream lately. So curse me out. I'll take it. So I think that's it from us. Any last words from you guys?
What's up with Star Citizen? That game should be out by now, huh?
Star Citizen. Okay.
That's all I gotta say about it.
Always wear your sunscreen.
I need a pair of panties to throw at you when you sing.
What happened?
I need a pair of panties to throw at you whenever you sing.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.
Deuces.